Okay, good morning. Yeah, I want to talk about something that clearly has been, affecting it has been, like bothering me. It's a situation wherein I keep thinking about several things, and I know that there are persons sometimes that are not understanding certain things as it relates to me and my choices or function and so on. So I just want to bring some clarity to it. And I also want to talk about some of the things that people generally are wondering about. Okay, so first and foremost, let me ask a question. If it is that, for example, I see someone or yeah, say a set of persons, say I see people hurting in a particular area, and it is a situation wherein they have been wronged or something like that, and they have been going through a challenging period wherein, as I was saying the other day, say for example in a crisis, say you have a crisis and there are lots of people, there are people hurting, and there are persons sometimes that are doing certain things in the wrong way, and they don't recognize what it is that is, well, they don't embrace what it is that was the appropriate thing at that time. But say it is that they're in a different frame of mind now, and they're in a position where it is that they're willing to change their position in terms of how it is that they were functioning before. What do you think would be the case if it is that I chose to okay, so say initially how I was handling the situation, for example, I was saying, okay, then let's fight for the restoration or the restitution being given to those who were hurting. And I work very hard, even though I'm not a law student or somebody who understood certain systems very well. Say it is that I chose to work for a long period of time trying to gather different things together in order to arrive at a resolution that would generally say certain things are wrong, but you know still work towards some kind of an agreement or some kind of situation wherein those who were hurting actually got some kind of restitution, or were placed in another position where it is that they were able to have better relations between them and those who were actually doing them wrong. So say it is that, okay, so after I work towards this, say it is that initially I kept working towards the restitution of these individuals and things working in a particular way for them. But it so happens that certain things were not working out a particular way, because what ended up happening was more fighting instead of more peace. um what is it that you think would be the case if it is that I chose to address the thing from another premise, or look at it from like another in another way? Because I know there are lots of people sometimes that are very lawsuit oriented, and so they think that that's one of the best ways to actually get certain things done. But then if it is that you're dealing with a wide cross section of people that are in hurting in a particular area and stuff like that, sometimes a lawsuit might not necessarily work out. Not because it's a situation where it cannot be pursued on a grounds of something being wrong, but sometimes based on the complexity of the situation, it's a situation wherein it's better to look at other measures, restorative measures. So, like something that I was saying to someone this morning, I'm going to, read it to you. I'm going to say it to you too. So, if, for example, I believe something was owing to others, and I have been working towards a better state for many people involved in an unfortunate situation, um, what I actually would normally do is, like take certain kind of steps. And if I'm taking certain kind of steps in order to bring restoration as well as a peaceful position between the entities involved, it's normally a situation where I will function in certain ways or do certain things and so on. And outside of that, much of what drives what I do is my desire to see people having being in purpose, having better relations. I seek people's betterment. So much of what it is that I do is generally geared at that. So it's not really an easy thing carrying many people to purpose, especially when I have met upon resistance quite often. However, I believe restoration can come through different measures, and if it is in the best interest of all involved to not constantly be fighting in certain ways, I'm willing to allow God to lead me or to lead us to a more improved state of normalcy. And that's one of the things that I have worked for, an improved state of normalcy in our communities, locally and globally. That's one of the things that I work very hard towards. In much of the things that I try to do and so on, many of the times it's really geared at, betterment. So restoration has been a difficult thing, in some respects when it comes to dealing with the crisis that we were going through. However, it's a situation where it's been difficult because here and abroad people are hurting and things need a better viewpoint, a better understanding, a better way of arriving at an agreeable position. It has been a crisis, and many people were not at a place over the years where they could have been, there could have been like certain positive changes in lives, but each day is a new opportunity for that. And so we choose whether it is that we work towards that kind of status being the situation for us. And I really hope that those who have been hurting and so on, that's the kind of position that you take. Okay.